Discover 12 spine-chilling legends from Oklahoma's haunted history that remain sinisterly cursed. The sun dipped low over the run-down houses of Oklahoma City. Shadows stretched long and foreboding, creeping across the cracked pavement of Lily's neighborhood like dark fingers. Inside her two-story home, the air felt thick, almost suffocating. The kids were restless. Danny sat cross-legged on the floor, eyes wide, his little face glowing with the eerie light from the flickering bulbs. He giggled to himself. "The Watcher told me everything." Lily's heart raced. "Danny, what are you talking about?" Panic flared in her chest. The Watcher? An imaginary friend? But as he turned to her, something in his gaze sent chills down her spine. It was as if he could see through her, into her darkest secrets. The whispers she'd tried to ignore, the things she concealed from her children, the very tales her grandmother had warned her about, secrets that hung in the air like a noxious haze. As the evening deepened, the flickering lights grew more unsettling. They danced mockingly with shadows, teasing her sanity. She dismissed it. Life's burdens were heavy enough after her husband's departure. But when she found a chair moved across the kitchen floor the next morning, her heart jumped. She hadn't done it. Were her kids playing tricks? But Danny had been asleep, and Emma was only 5. Each night brought more dread. Whispers slithered through the walls. They seemed to hum in rhythm with her worries, weaving tales of doom that felt all too real. "Mama, I don't like the shadow by my bed," Emma whimpered one night, pulling her blanket tighter. Lily fought the urge to look. She had grown up with such warnings. Shadows lurking in corners weren't just figments of fear. They were warnings from generations past. Before we continue, I need to tell you something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to their system, and many people are missing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and select all notifications so you don't miss future videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. With each tick of the clock, she felt her grip on reality slip. The neighbors smiled too warmly, a cruel twist to their expressions as they exchanged worried glances. The neighborhood watch group she once considered benign suddenly felt constrictive, an oppressive force hidden behind friendly facades. She had to know about the Watcher, so she began to dig, uncovering tales buried beneath layers of folklore that seemed to grow sharper with every revelation. One particular legend haunted her. A child had vanished years ago, thought to be taken in the night by forces unseen. The neighborhood watch had stepped in, banding together to help, but whispers of dark rituals lingered, discussing protection through tethering the past. Did they mean protection from or protection for? She thought with mounting dread. A haunting chill gripped her on a moonless night when she spotted a gathering in the park, flickering lanterns revealing hunched figures murmuring thickly. The air was thick with an urgency, incantations that felt familiar, recalled from her grandmother's fear-laden stories. She tried to drag her children away, but cold dread settled in the pit of her stomach. She could feel the eyes of the shadows watching, scrutinizing, knowing. And then, just like that, she caught the fleeting glimpse of a figure watching them from the thick trees. A shadow that somehow felt personal, an entity watching them, waiting. Waiting for what? Lily's heart raced. Would she ever be able to shield her children from the unknown forces at play? The darkness coiling around them waited patiently, as if the secrets of the community were tangled in the very roots of the neighborhood. The stakes were higher than she could ever have imagined, and Lily realized that what lurked beneath the surface was only the beginning. Lily paced the small living room, her heart a relentless drumbeat in her ears. The children were asleep, but every creak of the house seemed amplified, a foreboding soundtrack to her growing anxiety. She could still feel the weight of the figure's gaze lingering, an invisible thread tugging at the corners of her mind. Was this watcher trying to tell her something? The lanterns in the park had flickered like dying stars, and the incantations from the gathering echoed in her head. She had never believed in the supernatural before, but as the stories peeled away like dead skin, she felt reluctantly drawn into the disturbing history of her neighborhood. It was almost as if something was pulling her closer to the truth, something dark and undying. She grabbed her phone and typed in a nearby search bar, her fingers trembling. Old newspaper articles filled the screen, each one a grim reminder of the child who had vanished long ago. Mother's anguished cries echoing in her mind, ghostly images of cautionary tales warning children, keep away from the trees. It hit her, the trees. Those massive ancient sentinels gathered at the fringes of the park where the gathering had taken place. Her thoughts twisted tighter as she remembered the warning in her grandmother's voice. It was the trees that held the stories of the lost. Lily's breath quickened as she decided. She needed to go to the park. She needed to see it for herself, to feel the ground beneath her feet and confront what lingered in the air, thick with secrets. Wrapping herself in a hoodie, she moved quietly through the darkened house, careful not to wake the children. The door creaked loudly, protesting as she pulled it open, but she braced herself and stepped out into the cool night air. The streetlights cast a ghostly glow, their light flickering, like candle flames, illuminating her path as she advanced toward the park. With every step, the tension in the air thickened, wrapping around her like a vice. Shadows lurked beyond her sight, and she felt an instinctive urge to look behind her, but fought against it. The stories she sought were ahead. Once inside the park, she stood before the colossal trees, their twisted branches a gnarled jumble of black silhouettes against the starlit sky. The chill crawled down her spine as the wind rustled through the leaves like whispers. "What do you want?" she called out, her voice trembling, barely louder than a breath. "Nothing, just the wind." And then, as if in response, a low, guttural sound emerged from the shadows, crawling up from the earth. It sent a shiver through her whole being. She took a cautious step back, only for a presence to block her retreat. A figure draped in darkness, its shape bending unnaturally to the side as it stepped closer. The eyes glinted with a malignant hunger, beckoning her into the depths of the woods. "Come play," it crooned, a voice she did not recognize, yet felt chilled by. Lily's heart raced as panic gripped her chest, choking her thoughts, overwhelming her instincts. This was no imaginary friend her son spoke of. There was no playful curiosity here, only something ancient and powerful, starving for connection through terror. "Oh God," she gasped, scrambling back, leaving her sanity behind as she realized that this was not just a legend, it was alive. In the distance, a faint laughter echoed, Danny's soft voice breaking through the trees like a piercing scream. "Mama, come play!" Lily's blood turned to ice, a visceral recognition slicing through her. The watcher wasn't merely observing, it was gathering. Time was running out. Would she leave her children to the shadows or plunge deeper into the dark? Her answer came as she turned to run, but the figure reached out, grasping her wrist with cold fingers. "Stay with us." Desperation pooled in her chest as she fought against the chilling grip. The shadows had woven their web, and now it was up to her to break free before her whole world was devoured. And in that moment, she knew what lay behind the veil was far more dangerous than mere stories. It wasn't just about the neighborhood anymore. It was about survival. As she struggled against the entity's hold, the chilling laughter echoed around her again, and a horrifying realization dawned. The watcher had no intention of letting her leave. What had she awakened? What would she have to do to protect her children from the darkness waiting to claim them all? Lily fought, her heart hammering, the grip on her wrist tightening like a vice around her sanity. "Let go of me," she screamed, flexing her body, but it felt as if the darkness was alive, pulling her closer with a force she couldn't fathom. The laughter, it rang clearer now, and each note twisted her insides like a knife. Danny was still so far away, trapped in the web of shadows. "Come play," the voice whispered again, seductive yet sinister, as if tempting her to unravel her grip on reality. Panic surged through her veins like ice. She wrenched her arm, and for a heartbeat, it felt like the shadow hesitated. She took that moment. With a desperate yank, she slipped free and stumbled back, heart racing as she glanced at the trees behind her. A rustle echoed from the twisted branches, drawing her attention. The laughter faded, but the unnatural presence lingered. She glanced at the park entrance, its distant glimmer now glowing like a beacon in her mind. A wild instinct to escape surged within her. The trees seemed to lean, eager to choke her with their blackened limbs. But something deep inside her told her to fight back. The stories were not merely tales of caution, they were cries for help. She needed to confront whatever lay within the darkness. She took a deep breath, feeling the cold air fill her lungs before stepping forward, back toward the park. "Who are you?" she called into the void, her voice shaking but resolute. "What do you want?" Silence, the kind that vibrated and pulled at her ears. She scanned the area. The shadows seemed to stretch and sway as if they were alive, awaiting her answer. She realized then, fear could drown her, or she could choose to uncover the truth. The figure emerged slowly from the darkness again, more defined now. It wore the shapes of the unfortunate, faces twisted in trauma, their mouths echoing silent screams. They surrounded her, an army of the lost. The entity grinned, showing jagged teeth, and spoke. "You've woken us, sweet mother." Instinctively, she shielded her face from its gaze, a response fueled by terror. How many lost souls were trapped here? How many had come before her, drawn by the eerie allure of malevolence? The chill enveloped her, wrapping around her in a familiar quilt of dread. "Your children," it crooned again, now more urgent. "They play where we watch, forever." "No!" she shouted, shaking her head. Images of Danny blending into the shadows flooded her mind. "They aren't yours." The voices began to raise, overlapping into a cacophony of despair, drowning her in an ocean of anguish. "What will you do?" the figure taunted, stepping closer, its putrid breath curling around her. "You will lose them, just as the others did." Lily's resolve hardened. With a fierce bravery she hadn't known existed, she took a breath and shouted, "You don't own anything here. I will fight you." The laughter that erupted was thunderous, mocking her. "Foolish mother, why would you seek the truth if it costs you everything?" A rumble shook the ground beneath her, roots emerging like clawed hands from the soil, twisting and coiling. She stood her ground, adrenaline coursing as her mind raced. Whatever lay beneath the park wanted her to falter, to turn back, but she couldn't, not now. She had come too far. In the distance, the sound of Danny's laughter grew again, innocent yet tainted, a bridge between her and the children, drawing her even deeper into the grip of despair. As she prepared to charge ahead, resourcefulness surging within, she heard a terrifying whisper. "The truth is not what you think. The children belong to us." A blood-curdling scream escaped her lips as the reality shimmered. What was this truth? Something in her gut told her that unfolding this mystery came with a price. She would have to plunge into the abyss to save her children. But what if the truth was worse than she ever imagined? With each step forward into the dark, her mind ignited with one haunting question. Would she find her children or become one of the lost herself? The shadows were not just a backdrop. They danced with intent, whispering secrets meant to lure her away from the path of survival. Lily tightened her jaw, the bitter taste of fear pooling in her mouth. A shiver ran down her spine as she inched closer to the entity amidst the throng of lost souls. Its smile widened, a row of sharp teeth glinting like shards of glass. "Come on, sweet mother," it crooned, smoothly switching from mockery to a sickly sweet tone. "You can't fight fate." The weight of despair pressed upon her chest. Each breath felt heavy, as if the darkness itself was pushing against her. Was this a trap, or was she meant to see? Suddenly, the ground shook violently beneath her feet, sending a jolt through her legs. She stumbled, but before she could recover, a cacophony of voices erupted from the shadows, drowning her resolve. They were shouting, crying, whispering her name. She clutched her ears, overwhelmed. "Help us, Lily," they wailed, their cries echoing off the twisted branches that seemed to close in around her. "We had no choice. We're still here." Panic surged again. "Stop," she bellowed, fighting to keep her mind from unraveling. "I'm not here to help you." But deep down, she could feel the pull of their sorrow. How many had been lost? How many had tried to escape only to become part of this nightmare? The ground shifted, forming into a grotesque face, eyes wide with terror. "You are like us now," it whispered. "You can't save them if you can't save yourself." "No," she shouted defiantly, shaking her head in disbelief. "I refuse to believe that." A face materialized in the ground, a child with wide, pleading eyes. "Danny," she cried, "no, I'm coming for you." Suddenly, the laughter returned, echoing around her like thunder. "Oh, sweet mother, you choose to enter without knowing the price." Before she could respond, the figure lunged forward, wrapping around her with dark, curling tendrils that squeezed her limbs, anchoring her in place. Panic clawed at her throat, and she struggled, gasping for breath. The laughter escalated, blending with Danny's voice, making her head spin. "Help us! Help us!" The whispers became screams that filled the air, piercing her heart. "Shut up!" she screamed, pushing through the overwhelming noise. "I will save my son." The entity leaned forward, its breath hot against her skin. "And what of those who call you mother? Will you leave them to their fate, or will you join us?" The question struck at her core, forcing her to confront the grim reality. The price of this dark truth was high. Had she come too far? The air thickened with dread, wrapping around her like a noose. From somewhere deep within the shadows, another figure broke free, a flicker of light in the dark. It was Danny, his innocent face illuminated, but the joy she expected was replaced with a silent scream. "Lily!" he gasped, reaching toward her. The tendrils holding her seemed to falter. "Mom, don't listen to them!" His voice broke through the fog of despair, just long enough for her to make a decision. Taking a deep breath, she surged forward, breaking free of the grasping darkness. "I won't let you take him," she shouted as she charged. But as she pushed through the writhing shadows, the ground beneath her quaked once more, a sinister pulse echoing in her bones. "You think you can leave? You think this is over?" The entity's laugh morphed into madness. Lily's heart pounded furiously against her chest. Was she truly able to save Danny? Or was she running further into the abyss? She extended her arm, desperately closing the gap between them. But then, the shadows stirred violently, shifting once more. In that chaotic moment, Lily felt something shift in the air around her. A thick, electric tension that grabbed her attention. She wondered, was there something beyond the darkness she could use? Some buried truth that might turn the tide? As she reached out, a chilling whisper echoed through her mind. The truth always comes at a cost. What will you give up to save him? A question loomed over her, heavy with anticipation, and she couldn't shake the feeling that whatever decision lay ahead would turn everything upside down. And she had no idea if the shadows would let them go. The shadows surged like a living tide, pulling her deeper into their maw. Lily's heart raced as she stretched out for Danny, praying the pull of darkness wouldn't drag him back before she reached him. The tendrils tightened around her ankles, but she pushed through, fueled by desperation. "Help us! Help us!" The voices swelled, filling her head. It felt like a physical weight, a stranglehold on her sanity. But she didn't have time to listen. Ignoring the anguish around her, she focused solely on her son. "Danny, I'm coming!" she shouted, her voice cracking under pressure. He was just a few feet away now, but it felt like a chasm stretched between them. The entity's rage roared behind her, its laughter like ice slicing through her resolve. "You think you can take him? Do you even know what it means to be lost?" The shadows momentarily formed into a horrific visage of despair, a montage of faces twisted in agony. Their eyes stared back at her, filled with helplessness. Her thoughts spiraled for a moment, but she fought against them. "I won't let you take him too." Just then, the air crackled and a pulse of energy buzzed through her. She felt an ancient force awakening in the depths of her soul. A realization hit hard like a sudden gust of icy wind. This wasn't just a fight for Danny. It was a battle for her own survival. "Danny!" she shouted again, and this time her voice came out strong, fierce. The tendrils bucked against her determination. She felt the shadows flinch as if they could sense her growing strength. That flicker from within her, it was an ember, a spark of hope igniting against the overwhelming darkness. In one last desperate act, she seized that power and turned it into a warm light, flinging it towards Danny. It sliced through the shadows around them, illuminating his fearful face just for a moment. "Mom!" he cried, a glimmer of hope breaking through his panic. But the energy didn't just push the shadows away. It made the entity scream in rage. "You dare challenge me?" it howled, the darkness writhing like a wounded beast. Lily felt the ground shake again, but this time it felt different. With every pulse, she could sense that she was regaining control, that she was not just a victim in this nightmare, but a force to be reckoned with. Suddenly, the tendrils released her. She dashed forward, crossing the final distance towards Danny, their fingers nearly touching when a dark wave crashed into her, flinging her away. She landed hard, breathless, the light flickering dimly. Lily grunted as she struggled to rise again. Each movement felt like wading through molasses, but she couldn't give in to the exhaustion. She had to reach him. "Danny, please, just hold on." Danny's terrified eyes remained locked on her. "Mom, they're coming for you," he gasped as shadows writhed around him. "Not if I can help it," she yelled, gripping the earth beneath her for strength. She steeled herself, drawing every ounce of determination to fight back. The shadows surged forward, trying to reclaim control. They clawed at her, but Lily started to chant the names of those lost: mother, sister, neighbor. Every soul that was taken became a part of her, their strength blending into her resolve. The shadows writhed, as if they could feel the shift, their frustration morphing into something deeper. "You are ours!" they shrieked, desperate to reclaim their dominion. But Lily felt the warmth of hope pulse within her like a heartbeat, growing stronger. Surrounding her were the countless spirits that called this place home, the suffering that echoed throughout the night. She wasn't fighting alone anymore. With one final cry, she launched the light forward, pushing through the darkness with everything she had. "You will not take him!" The explosion of light erupted, scattering the shadows, revealing the faces behind the despair. Then silence followed, a heavy, suffocating silence. It hung in the air, pregnant with uncertainty, as she reached out for Danny one last time. Lily held her breath, fear knotting in her stomach. Had she done enough? Or had she released something worse? And as the darkness stirred around her, she knew she was about to find out. What other horrors lurked in the shadows, waiting for their moment to emerge? The silence was shattered by an anguished scream that echoed through the void. It belonged to Danny, his voice piercing yet distant, swallowed by the lingering shadows. "Mom!" Lily's heart raced, each thumb pounding like a war drum against her ribcage. She leaped to her feet, her breath coming in rapid bursts as she darted forward. But the light she had summoned flickered, weakening under the weight of shadows that crawled back like a tide, determined to engulf her son once again. "Danny!" she shouted, her voice trembling. In the depths of the blackness, she glimpsed a figure, something twisted and monstrous. It undulated, moving toward Danny with a sinister grace, its eyes glowing with malice. No, she couldn't let it claim him. Not now, after all this. She broke into a full sprint, the ground beneath her vibrating as if alive. The shadows clawed at her, trying to drag her down, but Lily wouldn't relent. She pushed through, focusing on her love for her son. Each footfall felt like a battle against an unseen weight, but her resolve hardened with every desperate cry of Danny. Just as she neared him, the darkness surged, blocking her path. It felt like a wall of ice, thick and unyielding. "Leave him be!" she roared, channeling every ounce of the warmth that had ignited within her. The faces from the shadows appeared again, a chorus of lost souls mixing their anguish with her own. They merged with the light inside her, a river of memories fueling her drive. "You don't own him! You don't own any of us!" With each shout, she drew strength from the spirits whose despair fueled her fight. The shadows shrieked, a guttural cacophony of rage and fear. They recoiled, slithering back, but not for long. Lily seized the moment, her hand thrusting forward as she willed light into existence once more. This time, it was brighter, haloed by the strength of countless souls echoing their support. The shadows twisted and churned, screeching as the light blossomed, rendering them momentarily blind. But darkness is a cunning adversary. The waves of shadow crashed back, swirling like a storm. They conspired against her, searching for a chink in her armor, a moment of weakness to claim the light. The air turned icy, and she felt dread wrapping around her heart like a vice. "Mom, it's pulling me!" Danny cried out, fear clawing his voice. "No, Danny! Focus on me! Just believe!" In an instant, almost imperceptible against the rumble of shadows, the light began to dim. The entity behind the darkness lurked closer now, feeding off her fear, its presence overwhelming. Lily could feel its tendrils reaching toward her, tasting her resolve, and it took a deep breath to counter its effect. "Go back!" she screamed, sending the light out as a wave, pushing against the relentless pull of shadows. For every inch they gained, she fought back with everything,
The love, the fear, the memories. As the darkness wrenched and pulled, ripping at her soul, a chilling realization dawned on her. This wasn't just a fight for Danny. It was a battle for the fate of those souls lost to the darkness before. When she closed her eyes, a familiar face flashed before her. Her sister, lost so long ago. The warmth of hope she felt surged stronger. For all of you, you will not take him. And in that moment of clarity, the light erupted, blinding and deafening, overwhelming the darkness. But as quick as it had surged, it began to pulse, dimming under the tension while the shadows closed in once more. Lily's breath hitched as she felt something shift. A low growl grew louder, echoing around her, vibrating through her bones. This isn't over. The shadows stirred, restless, and Lily realized with mounting horror that she might have unleashed something greater than she anticipated. What other horrors lay in wait just beyond the veil, ready to pounce? Lily's eyes locked onto the mass of writhing shadow as it thickened and twisted, its form shifting like smoke in a tempest. She could feel the air pulse, heavy with a malefic energy that prickled her skin, making her stomach churn. Love for Danny wrestled with a gnawing desperation, sending tendrils of panic spiraling through her mind. "Danny!" she gasped again, grounding herself in the sound of his voice. She had to focus, had to push back. With a scream that thundered through the dark, she unleashed the remaining light she possessed. It burst forth like a flare, illuminating the swirling void, revealing grotesque shapes coiling back, shrieking in fury. But the shadows struck back harder, more viciously, curling around her wrists like frozen chains, trying to snuff out her light. When they found their hold, she cried out, her voice mixing with the cacophony of wails emanating from lost souls, their torment echoing her own. Suddenly, the dim fissure in the darkness widened, and she glimpsed Danny being tugged by a long, spindly arm, its grotesque fingers wrapping around him like a vice. She felt her heart tear, a visceral pang of horror surging through her core. She would not let it win. "Danny!" she shrieked again, feeling her resolve crystallize into a new layer of strength. Her body moved on autopilot, propelled by desperation. "I won't let go! Hold on to me!" The shadows shuddered, resonating as if they
were unsettled by her declaration. The incessant growling morphed into something buzz-like, an unsettling hum that droned around her, shaking loose, sharp chills throughout her spine. But within that unsettling sound, she could hear it, the soft, uncertain tremor of Danny's existence, his breath a whisper carried on the frigid air. "Mom, I'm scared." In his voice, Lily found her anchor. She summoned every fragment of her love, letting it coagulate into a blinding ball of light. With a fierce determination, she thrust it forward, a glimmering sun rising against overwhelming night. The light surged, a tide born from her frantic heart, pushing back against the shadows, forcing them to recoil. Yet every moment of clarity were strands tightened, like a noose around her throat. It felt as though the darkness were alive, breathing, waiting for an opportunity to strike, the predator waiting for its prey to falter. But then, in the corner of her eye, she saw something flash within the black. A woman's face, her sister's familiar visage. "Help me," it seemed to plead, which sent shudders of guilt passing through Lily as more haunting memories bubbled up. "Not now," she shouted, shaking her head violently to dismiss the ghosts from her past. But they lingered, their eyes wide and pleading, insisting she remember the promises she couldn't save them from. Lily's heart ached as she wrestled with the anguish of her failures, while shadows crept further around her. "I will save Danny. I will not let you take him." The growl morphed into a deep laugh, penetrating her every thought. The darkness coalesced again, gathering itself into a towering silhouette, a monstrous parody of something human. A face pushed through, twisted, razor-sharp features with an unnatural grin stretched wide like a gaping maw. "Why do you cling so desperately, little moth?" it hissed, its voice sending bites of cold rushing through the air. "He does not belong to you. He is a piece of this world now." With a roar of rage that felt primal, Lily pushed back, channeling her fear into strength. The light surged once more, pure and unyielding, and she felt her pulse synchronize with its glow. "No, my son is not yours." For a fleeting moment, she saw Danny again, struggling against the grip of the creature. The flicker of hope ignited something within her. If she could break the shadow's hold, she could reach him. But just as the light reached its peak, a chilling fracture in the wall of darkness appeared, a small gap that led deeper into the abyss. An insidious whisper slipped from the shadows, promising truths she had avoided for too long. "Join us. You cannot save him. Every lost soul belongs to the dark." The shadows laughed in unison as they tightened around her again, the laughter echoing off the edges of her sanity. "Danny!" she screamed, straining against the choking grip. But the shadows began to pull her down, dragging her closer to the darkness, where struggles turned to silent pleas.
Reality blurred, her grip on hope faltering. In that moment, something shifted inside her, a chilling realization surfacing. Her light was fading, and with it, so was Danny. What could she sacrifice to unleash the final blow against the darkness lingering just out of reach? The shadows clawed at Lily, dragging her further into their suffocating embrace. She felt the frigid tendrils seep into her mind, drowning her thoughts in despair. The laughter, sharp and hungry, echoed around her, filling her ears with venomous promise. "Join us," it drew out, as if tasting her fear. "No!" she gasped, her voice raw, throwing her remaining strength against the suffocating darkness. "I won't let you win!" With a final heave, she summoned her inner fire, the love for her child burning brighter than the abyss around her. The light flared once again, breaking through the shadows. It pierced the suffocating gloom with a shriek, a sound like shattering glass, forcing the grotesque formations to wail in retreat. Briefly, she saw Danny, his wide eyes reflecting her hope, but the shadows lunged to reclaim their hold. A forever hungry nightmare. "Mom, help!" His cry sliced through her, igniting a raw, primal instinct deep within, driving her to push harder. With renewed ferocity, she thrust her hand toward him. "I'm coming, Danny. Just hold on." In that moment, as her light blazed forth, she felt something break in the air, a sensation like glass cracking underfoot, and a visceral chill swept through her. A scream echoed, but its source came not from Danny. It was something else, something that seemed to shriek in pain at the brightness. Suddenly, the monstrous face loomed larger, its features grotesquely contorting as it flickered in and out of visibility, depending on the strength of her light. "You're a fool," it hissed, venom drenching its voice. "You think you can keep him? This is his true home. Join us willingly." Lily shook her head fiercely, her thoughts spinning, battling the seductive lure of the shadows. "Danny!" she yelled, the desperation tearing at her throat. And then another wave of darkness swelled, tendrils curling around her limbs like massive serpents, squeezing tighter, whispering sweet lies. "You're too weak. Remember your failures, the ones you've hidden. The past will consume you." It was tempting. The shadows taunted her with memories long buried beneath layers of guilt. The faces of the lost lined the edges of her mind. She could almost taste their sorrow. "What will you trade?" the darkness breathed, the question curling around her like smoke, intoxicating and persuasive. The thought of surrendering, of letting go, pulled at her. "No," she roared, forcing the memory of Danny to the front of her mind. "I love him. I will never give up." With that thought anchoring her, she ripped her arms free from the tendrils tightening around her. It hurt, the cold biting into her skin, but fear was her ally. She could hear Danny's voice growing faint, each cry stretching into a distant echo.
If she faltered now, the ground beneath her feet seemed to tremble, echoing her turmoil. A crack spread through the darkness just as Lily pushed forward, willing the light to expand, unfurling like a flower toward the sun. The shadows shrieked, a choir of tortured souls blending into one horrific symphony, answering her defiance with rage. "Then we will take him!" The creature roared back, its twisted features contorting with fury as it lunged toward her. The overwhelming wave of darkness crashed against the light, a battle thrumming in the space between them. But then, just before she thought she might be pulled under, an answer blossomed within her, a call to action against unimaginable horror. She would not fight alone. With all her strength, she shouted out loud enough to penetrate the dark, her voice breaking through the silence, trembling yet fierce. "Danny, come to me! Find the light!" A moment of electric stillness followed, a breath of hope in the storm, and her heart thundered in her chest as she felt something shift. The shadows recoiled, and she could see movement, a small figure shifting in the darkness. "Mom, I see you!" And just then, a tremor of raw energy surged, one that twisted and turned like a ready predator. But before she could react, a pulse of shadow shot forward, threatening to entrap her in its malevolence. Was this what she had invited? This moment of false hope luring her in for the final blow? Terror surged alongside an unexpected surge of strength. Would they truly join together? Or would the shadows claim them both? The answer hung precariously in the air, and as they fought their way toward each other, she could feel the edge of the abyss creeping ever closer, its promise razor sharp, whispering dark secrets of the past yet to be uncovered. The screech of the shadows seemed to pierce through the silence as Lily and Danny fought to bridge the widening chasm that the darkness conjured. Each step forward felt like stepping through ice, every inch scraping at her resolve. The creature's breath hot on her neck, rancid and suffocating, mingled with the terror curling in her stomach. "Danny!" she screamed, desperation clawing at her throat. "You have to come to me! Reach for the light!" Her words hung in the air, almost tangible, vibrating with pain and fear. Then she caught a glimpse of his small frame, barely outlined against the thickening shadows. He was gripped in the darkness, a small hand stretched towards her, trembling. The shadows writhed around him, their sins tangling and twisting, crafting an illusion of safety, of belonging. "Mom, I can't! They won't let me go!" His voice cracked, panic bubbling up as he fought against the darkness. Lily felt a cold dread creep over her. "Danny, listen! You are not theirs! You are mine!" But with each moment, the shadows seemed to tighten their grasp, squeezing the light out of his innocence. Echoes of laughter reverberated around them, dancing in hungry spirals. Suddenly, the landscape rippled. A thick fog rose from below, crawling up like ghostly fingers. Dreams and nightmares intertwined, filling her mind with fleeting images. Her father's face, twisted by rage as he yelled her failures. The ghost of a sister lost too soon, despair crying out for justice. "Do you see?" The creature loomed larger, enveloping her mind, feeding on her fear. Its grotesque mouth twisted into a semblance of a smile, gloating. "You cannot escape your pain. It is your shadow. your truth. Let it embrace you. No, she screamed, warmth flickering inside her. I will not let it win. She focused on Danny, on love, on hope. The flicker of her courage ignited again, sending a pulse of light that cut through the darkness. It distracted the creature, and in that space, Danny swung his arm free, reaching out with a determination that halted her beating heart. The shadows writhed and shrieked around him, and in a terrifying moment, she felt one grasp at his leg, anchoring him. Danny, no! Her heart slammed against her ribs, every pulse a desperate plea. Then his eyes met hers. I see you, Mom. I'm coming. With a forceful yell, she pushed the tendrils of darkness away, summoning every ounce of her strength. Then come, baby, fight them. The shadows shuddered, halting their attack, revealing glimpses of freedom just beyond. She had to believe, but her effort was met with a low growl, anger boiling forth. We will not lose him to you. We feast tonight. Danny's scream echoed through the darkness, a raw, piercing sound that sliced through Lily's heart. Just as she thought she could grasp the last shred of hope, the creature lunged, its oozing form spiraling around Danny with serpentine speed, the air slicing with a cruel promise. Despair threatened to drown her again as the shadow surged. Danny, she cried, a voice filled with terror and resignation, feeling helpless to change the course of fate. The connection wavering, the light flickering. In that swirl of chaos, something snapped in her. An instinct surged, and she pulled forward, ready to fight through hell itself. You will not take him. The arena between them pulsed with darkness and light, an echo of their desire to survive, bleeding into the air. And as Lily pushed against the shadows, it felt as though a storm was rising. As their fingertips brushed, she felt the full force of the abyss drawing closer, and every heartbeat screamed at her to flee. But could they escape? And just like that, a memory struck her, one buried deep, threatening to pull her under. But could she hold on to the light long enough to save her boy? With shadows closing in fast, she gritted her teeth. This wasn't just about saving him anymore. This was about confronting the nightmare head on. What will you choose, Lily? The creature coiled around her, venom dripping from its words. It was a dare. But in the heart of terror and shadow, did she have the strength to choose? Lily's heart pounded like a war drum, each beat echoing through the void as she and Danny stretched their hands toward each other, the dark tide closing in. She could feel the shadows coiling around her, whispering sweet nothings mixed with terrifying promises. They knew her fears, her insecurities, each illusion achingly familiar. You don't have to fight, they hissed. You could join us. No, she shouted fiercely, shaking her head as she focused on the warm light nestled deep within her. You won't take him. The shadows shrieked, their voices an unbearable cacophony, catching her off guard. But she steadied herself, a grip firm on the truth she recognized even in darkness. Love had the power to defeat even the strongest evil. Danny, she called out, pouring all her strength into her voice. I believe in you. Come to me. Just as a wave of despair threatened to pull her under, she felt it, Danny's spark of defiance igniting. He pushed against the shadows holding him back, determination sharpening his small features. I'm trying, Mom. His eyes shone with a fierce light, reflecting a battle between despair and hope. Lily surged forward, her footfalls like thunder pounding against the earth. The shadows flicked like snakes, trying to bind her. She gritted her teeth against the chill seeping into her bones, channeling every ounce of love for her son into a scorching flame. Step into the light, Danny. Trust me. He hesitated for a moment, fear flickering in his eyes, But then she saw it. He took a deep breath and pushed against the darkness with all his might, calling her name. "Mom, I'm coming!" In that heartbeat, everything changed. The dark river around him wavered, just enough for him to break free. With a final surge, Danny tore through the shadows, his small body racing toward her with arms outstretched. "Mom! Danny!" Without thinking, she reached out, their fingers grasping in a tight hold. Time seemed to freeze as the energy pulsed between them, a bolt of warmth that shattered the weight of despair threatening to crush them both. Then the shadows erupted in a spine-chilling roar, a sound that felt like nails on chalkboards. "You think you can escape our grasp?" the creature screamed, its grotesque form twisting and curling in fury. Tendrils reached out, trying to reclaim their prize, but the light surrounding Lily and Danny brightened with every heartbeat, each pulse fueled by their love. "Together, Danny, we can do this," Lily shouted, feeling the energy surge, enveloping them in a cocoon of warmth. The darkness writhed, losing cohesion as the light grew bright and unyielding. The lost souls that had lingered, tethered to pain, felt the shift. They began to break free from the grip of shadows, joining in the glow. "Stay focused, we can break this curse," Lily urged, feeling time slip through her fingers. She pushed back, embodying the strength of all the lost souls, those entwined in the darkness, knowing this battle would go beyond just saving her son. It was for them all. "Let him go! You're weak!" the entity hissed, its grotesque face contorting with anger. But it felt different now, a dimming force against their light. "Not if we stand together," Danny declared, voice trembling but resolute. All around them, the light pulsed with a ferocity she had never known. The shadows recoiled, howling, shrinking back like a ferocious beast losing its power. The energy radiated, a protective barrier enveloping mother and child, two fierce hearts beating as one, defying their oppressor. And then it happened. A blinding light erupted from their union, pure, radiant, overwhelming. It swallowed the dark, and a heart-stopping roar erupted as the shadows recoiled, unwinding in a whirl of chaos before dissolving into nothingness. Lily squinted against the brilliance, holding Danny tighter, holding on until the light dimmed. And finally, silence. She looked down, her son nestled safely against her. "Danny?" Tears welled in her eyes, raw relief crashing over her like a wave. "You're okay." He nodded, eyes wide and sparkling with childlike wonder. "Mom, we won!" His laughter rang like music in the stillness, bringing a smile to her face. "Together," she whispered, wrapping him in her arms. But the moment lingered, an awareness of what they had faced, what they had fought against. "We need to help them," she said suddenly, looking back at the remnants of the shadows dissipating like smoke. "Who?" Danny asked, confused. "The lost," she murmured, understanding now that the neighborhood had its own stories, its spirits aching to be freed. They need us, too. As they stepped into the dawning light, something shifted in the air. She felt the warmth of gratitude radiating from the spirits that lingered, their shadows lifting. With every step forward, the neighborhood felt lighter, freed from the weight of untold secrets. Lily didn't know what the future held, but she knew they would face it together. Hand in hand, with courage ignited in their hearts, Lily vowed to be the light for others who wandered too close to the darkness. And just like that, as they walked away from the park, a new legacy began, a tale intertwined with hope and resilience, and with every step, she solidified a promise to never let the shadows claim her or anyone else again. Lily smiled down at Danny. "Let's go home," because together they could conquer anything. To all you amazing souls out there, this is the moment to show your support. You need to subscribe now so you don't miss out on the next exclusive stories that will keep your heart racing. Smash that like button right now to feed the algorithm, because it really helps us reach more friends who need to hear these tales. Flood the comments section below with your reactions and theories about this thrilling conclusion. We want to know what you think. And don't wait even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this conclusion. They will thank you for it, trust me. Your support means the world, and together we'll create a community full of heart-pounding stories.